Happy Saturday, my friends, and welcome Console Overwatch Multi-Tier Tournament. My name is Bull Skunk alongside Chef Billy, and we're bringing you some Tier 3 action today between the Hunters Gaming and Danny Defeato. Billy, how are these teams looking coming into Week 3?
Both teams are coming in 1-1 on the season with a 4-4 map differential. So they've got a 0 map differential. Both teams coming off of a loss from last week. The Hunters going down to Prophet's Tribe 1-3, and in a bit of a grudge match for the Tier 3 Danny Defeato team against former friends and mates in the Guardians organization. They go down 0-4. So obviously they won 4-0 the first week against No Sympathy Legion, and Valor Honor was the Hunters' opponent week 1, and they ended up winning that 3-1. So, as we saw last night in the Friday night showdown, Danny Defeato, came out with a huge win.
Oh yeah, what a tight match that was.
Oh my God, I'm still tingling from it, and I'm hoping that this Danny Defeato team, same thing. I want to see Airborne. I'm calling you out, my friend. I want to see what you bring to the table today, sir.
Show us what you got.
On the other side, now on the other side, the Hunters Gaming. This is a new org in our sphere. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and actually their captain reached out to me a couple of weeks ago and actually wanted to learn how to cast. And I believe that they're Hispanic. So
that's awesome.
This is something exciting to me because I speak Spanish. So I'm kind of interested to see what kind of flavor they bring to this, because it could be a little bit different than what you're doing. So
just to touch on that, I mean, we're always excited about new people trying to get into casting, wanting to get into the craft. Happy to help in any way we can. So I just think that's so cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm super stoked to try and get this young gentleman on his way. So without further ado, I had a couple of issues here with my internet, but we're gonna go ahead and go into Ilios, our first map today. We have our hero bands here, Wrecking Ball, Mercy, and Hanzo. I mean, Wrecking Ball, not the biggest thing other than really contesting. Hanzo, going into double shields like what we've been seeing so far here lately. Hanzo's not a really good pick. I mean, you might get Grab Dragons if you pair it with Zarya, right? The other thing, but the real big loss here for the hero pool is Mercy. The res ability, the power boost for a Bastion, or said Hanzo, or a Widowmaker, or an Ashe. So you lose that. I think that's the biggest thing that the teams are going to be losing, is that res ability, and I'm okay with it. But I know that a lot of our friends out there play Mercy, and I'm interested to see what they do as far as healer compliments today.
Well, and we thought we would see zero FAR this week with that Mercy being banned out, but so far that hasn't been the case. Teams have been kind of fearless with that. Well, no FAR here to open us up as we're headed into Ruins. We are going to get Hunters Gaming in the blue coming out with the double shield and the Reinhardt Orisa here, and they're just going to move directly on to the objective, wasting zero time getting things started. Danny Defeato kind of pathing up for this top left side by Statue. They're going to go ahead and go meet them there on the objective. Good haul coming in. Ghoul getting the pick on the Airborne, taking the Zarya down. Finding first blood here on Ruins. They're content to just sit back in their corner, and despite having the man advantage, Maywall's coming out on both sides. That's going to prompt the charge in from Hunters Gaming. They do pick off both the Reinhardt and the May as well. And with the reinforcements dwindling, it looks like we're going to get the reset out of Danny, and Hunters Gaming are going to get the point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it was a pretty good brawl there on the point. I think that the healing coming out of Hunters Gaming right now is a little bit superior, even though Danny Defeato is running the Moira Lucio comp. I think that immortality field is going to be a bit of a snarl for Danny Defeato, being able to recognize it and pinpoint it in the beginning of these engagements.
Cryo Overlord making the swap over to the far here, seeing no counter on the other side, and just raining some damage in from above, just sneaking all the way around behind, gets the final blow onto the Reinhardt, and that will make the rest of their lives much easier here, as Danny Defeato's just going to get this thing flipped right back over, but not before Hunters got 42% of progress.
Yep, and I want to say, they really focus fired down that immortality barrier, and that is what allowed them to get the kills, get the frags that they needed to flip the point over. Good recognition of seeing it, and a good pure aggression coming from the side of Defeato. You love to see it.
Now we're going to have both tank ultimates coming online here as Hunter Gaming's looking to come back in. Maywall splits off the Reinhardt. He's unable to retreat back through. Airborne trying to come through and help him out, but then here comes the Shatter. But the barrage from the other way. Cryo Overlord coming up with 4. Make that 5 kills.
There's my Gonga death. First Gonga death of the night. Skunk. Ooh!
Magnificent barrage coming out of Cryo Overlord on this Pharah.
I am happy I got my gong.
They also managed to get that Earth Shatter out on the other side. Swap coming through from Sparkle to try to deal with the skies here. Now, would you still have Supercharger and Blizzard online for Hunters Gaming to try to come back in? But here comes the Graviton Surge and Cryo Overlord there to follow it up. Get 2 more kills. Ooh, a nice Windscar Fire Strike coming through and immediately pick it off too. And a hammer coming from Raven, despite the fact that he has just a speck of health. It doesn't matter. This guy's fearless. He's just going and swinging, picks up the kills. And Danny Defeato somehow hangs on here through that assault. What a back and forth.
I don't know how they all survived. That was a massive halt coming from Ghoul and using the amplification matrix, and that was, I mean, it caught 4 of them. I am surprised that it wasn't more that went down there, but a huge pin coming out of Raven.
Now Hunter's going over to Sigma Diva as they're looking to come recontest, trying to take the short catwalk across. Ghoul with the nice eat manages to take the Blizzard off the board, and now one coming in of their own from Hunters Gaming. Both tanks frozen, but not much follow-up. The rest of the team had fallen back to the back of point. Cryo Overlord's going to go and throw down his second barrage here of the round, and that's going to take out 2 if you include the D-Mech. Overtime work's going to burn down, and we should get an early 1-0 lead here on Ilios after a little bit of cleanup.
Yep, just the monkey on the point there to clean up.
And that wick is gone. Point on the board. Quick lead here for Danny Defeato.
Absolutely. Let me tell you what, they I don't think that they were expecting to see a Lucio Baptiste healer core. They got punched in the mouth, and they weren't, they weren't ready for the immortality barrier to be up there. So, once they came back and they figured out what they were going to do with it, and they shut down Baptiste. Other than the one window that he got with the amplified fire strike coming through it, not much that they can do for it here. So, as we're looking at it now, Danny Defeato going over to a Junkrat Swede. DPS line, and then double shielding themselves up. Well, maybe I'm getting debated here.
Yeah, the Toriord sneaking his way back into the meta. And it seems to be used for more than just countering Tracers and Sombras these days. We'll see how it works out for Danny Defeato here, as they do have that speed, and they are going to get onto the objective first, giving them that positional advantage. Oh, but a teleporter coming across, though it seems only half the team from Hunters got the memo. Oh, wow! But a combination of the Diva Boop with the Boop coming from Frosted on the Lucio, and they send Danny Defeato all into the drink together like lemmings off the side.
I mean, that was a bit of a dive there from them. But, it took 5 out. Cryo Overlord did get out with his life, though, and he actually was able to spam a lot of damage there. But that massive push there, it gave Hunters Gaming massive ult differential on Danny Defeato.
Look at the Reinhardts in particular, 95-30 in the Earth Shatter department, as Danny Defeato's looking to try to come back in here and retake this thing. Although Hunters got it on the first round there on Ruins, Danny was able to come take it back. Can they repeat that performance? Halt coming in from that double shield composition. Coalescence in response coming out of Hunters, and then we're going to get dueling lasers across the open field here. Cryo Overlord dropping the tire in, takes out Ghoul, and that's going to be Danny Defeato's cue to move in. Taco's going to answer right back and does trade out for that Junkrat. 5v5 here on the objective. Sombra used on the side of Hunters.
Huge!
Oh, the double boop, but countered with the double Deadeye. And we are down to a 3v3 here on the objective. That does still give Hunters the advantage, as Danny's forced to try to run in to make something happen, and the Hunters will indeed clean this thing up and narrowly hang on and keep percentage going.
Yeah, I mean, that was great plays from both sides. I did not see the Deadeye come up and be activated. because I saw the charge come in from Raven. It was perfectly executed, but I mean, the Deadeye absolutely shut down that attack.
Taco's going over to a Junkrat of his own now. Danny Defeato with quite a few ultimates online, including all the 4 that just came out simultaneously. Everything in the kitchen sink coming out of Danny Defeato, and that will get them some kills. Fortunately for them, they needed to win that fight. As Hunters Gaming now at 90%. Diva Bomb did come in. They're going to try to hold on for as much percentage as they can. But in the end, Danny Defeato will flip this thing.
Absolutely, and I Slay Zombies getting a very late exit kill onto THG Black, the captain of the Hunters Gaming. He had Coalescence in his pocket as well, so that was a big pick there for them. But I mean, it's one fight territory right now.
Hunter's gonna go ahead and make a couple swaps. They're going over to the Orisa Sigma here. Good timing too. Both tank ultimates had come out on the side of Danny Defeato, so they're pretty even in the ult economy here. Far coming out from them as well. Looking to put some pressure down in this little room. Cryo Overlord up on the top, trying to respond in kind. Gets moved off the back, but he's able to keep his toes on dry land. Looks like shield tanks are just slowly but surely pushing. Okay, that's what they were waiting on. The Coalescence coming out, and that's going to be the initiation here for Hunters. Tire goes in as well, and that's going to find one. The Far coming up with a big boop off the side. Ghoul picks up a kill as well. And like you said, Danny Defeato needed to hold on. One fight territory, and that was good enough. Should tie us up here on Ilias.
It should. There may be a late contest coming in from Eva. I don't know if she's going to be able to get there or not, though.
Not quite.
Woo. Well, I mean,
two very
looking
quick
at
rounds.
I mean, with the initial push and them getting the ultimate battle won, just in the first engagement of the fight, Danny Defeato never really had a chance to set their feet again. And I mean, it wasn't that they weren't playing, you know, as a team. They were absolutely playing as a team. It's just you can't fight the ultimates that early when you're down that early to those ultimates. So I mean, the deficit was too big to overcome there. But we come to my favorite map in the entire game of Overwatch.
The Well. It's the Well. We'll see how many people are going to go down into the pit of despair here. As now we are going to get a little bit of an air duel here. A little bit of a dogfight going on. Both Fars coming out. Looks like Danny opting for the Reaper here as we're heading into Well. Orisa Sigma on both sides. No big surprise there. Whoop. Little trade coming through. Lucio for the Orisa. Orisa taking down on both sides. Danny Defeato with the one-man edge here. Run, hide, able to bounce back, equalize, taking the Reaper out. 4v4 here on the objective. Cryo Overlord still just trying to put some rockets down. Looks like the Fars are just ignoring each other in the skies for the meantime and trying to keep their focus down on the tank lines. Both keeping pretty dead even in ult economy, and it is going to be Hunters Gaming getting the thing flipped. Commanding presence on this objective.
Yeah, I Slay Zombies went ahead and swapped over to the McCree to kind of counter the air demon. And look, there we go. Immediate dividends for Danny Defeato here. Yeah. Taking out the demon in the sky.
Shots landing true, and then here comes the barrage just to cap things off right on top of the two tanks. And he will eventually pick up both of those kills. Falls over the nice kill onto the Moira. And Danny Defeato, once again, flipping this thing right on over. What a back and forth here so far.
Yep, taking both of the supports out. That is never a good sign for your team when both supports go bye-bye. Big swap, though. I mean, I Slay Zombies. Big swap for him. So now what we're looking for coming into this next engagement, you know, we've got almost dueling Coalescences again, and it looks like Eva is winning the battle of the Lucios as far as sound barriers going. So, it could be anybody.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to deal with Cryo in the skies. Well, it looked like Czar and Sparkle was going around back. Cryo Overlord picks him up, though. Shoots him down. And then we're getting the pull into the Well as Danny Defeato. That's the start that you are looking for here as they're trying to hold on. Coalescence thrown into the mix as well. Another boop onto the Orisa. Not quite able to get her Fortify up in time. And Danny Defeato cleaning up here, approaching 50% on the board.
Yep, and they were able to go ahead and keep that all-important sound barrier in their back pocket. It looks like Eva has maybe lapped Frosted Rue on the other side, but you do have a very important ultimate in the Deadeye. Cryo has got to keep his eyes peeled for where the Cowboy is because he can take him down with one shot.
Yeah, Cryo was hiding up on the rooftops trying to look for that flank barrage. But the members of Hunters Gaming, they just passed all the way far left, rotated around Gazebo, and tried to close this gap. We're going to get the Gravitic Flux coming out from there as well, but here comes Barrage. Some barrier saves the team, and the Barrage finds 3 and just shuts down that assault with one press of the Y button. What a play,
my
Billy.
goodness. What a play. Cryo, come forth, young man. You absolutely earned that. Beautiful barrage, avoiding the Cowboy, too. I think the Deadeye actually came out, and it was ineffective.
Yes,
So,
indeed. I don't think he ever quite found sights on Cryo. And now he's got free reign here for the moment just to put down some shots. And they're going to hold him back, hang on, and win Elios.
Man, what a first map from both teams there, showing their mettle here on a Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an absolute banger of a match, to quote Mr. Corbeck from last night. Both teams showing what they can do when they get their feet set and when they press their mind to what they're going to do. So, Defeato up 1-0. We will be back with you in just a few moments.
Let's talk about Eichenwald, man. What did we see there in map 1? What can Hunters do to bring it back here in map 2?
I mean, honestly, there wasn't much between the two teams. However, if I have to be critical, Danny DeVito's front line, once again, hallmark of the entire Danny DeVito org, the tank line dictated play. Right. They took space. They denied the retrieval of space from Hunters Gaming. And I think that's what was one of the biggest deciders there. I mean, they got punched in the mouth on Lighthouse, but I mean, that was, we won't call it lucky, we'll call it skilled. But man, taking out 5 in one swoop in the very first engagement of the map, you don't see that very often.
No, that was pretty cool.
And and Danny DeVito actually got to the point first, and then the Symmetra teleport, and then he just charged through the teleporter. So I mean, awesome play coming from them. I just think that Hunters Gaming needs to up the aggression level.
And one thing I noticed, I'd say they need to stick to their game. I noticed them, flip-flopping on their tank line, and it was well-timed. They did it, in the ult downtime where they weren't going behind in the economy, but nevertheless, I felt like they weren't able to stick to the double shield composition or even the D.Va. I mean, the D.Va looked pretty strong there. So we'll see. I think either way they choose to go, they need to stick with the tank line and make their adjustments elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe it's a DPS switch. I mean, right now, Cryo Overlord is owning on the Pharah right now. There hasn't been a counter to her yet. Cryo Overlord on the far end now, even taking out his opposite in Zarin Sparkle. They brought up McCree to try and take him out of the sky, and it just didn't happen. So, as we look at Eichenwald, we've got Danny DeVito on the attack here, showing us a little bit of Symmetra May, so I'm wondering if they're going to go up and over the wall.
Ooh. Opted for more utility than damage here on the side of the offense. Of course, they do still have 20 seconds to change their mind. On the side of defense, Hunters Gaming coming out with the double shield, with the McCree Junkrat put the hurt down.
Ana
and the Ana
heals.
Yeah. I was just about to ask your opinion on that support lineup that they're showing us.
Excited. I'm actually excited for that.
It looks like Danny DeVito is going to stick with this sim wall teleport. Oh, look at this. Wall up top. There goes the T. Oh, the Lucio doesn't make it.
Lucio missed it.
But the other 5 members of Danny DeVito are now very quickly on the objective. We'll see if the adaptation is there from the side of the defense. Ghoul is going to find himself a kill, but they've lost their Ana already. Junkrat going down as well, and there goes the main tank. Ghoul's going to fall, and Danny DeVito with a massive advantage on the objective, storming right over this thing, and blink and you miss it. There's point A. That was an awesome strat.
Other than even not making it up.
Poor Alicia.
And he was like, she was like balanced on the top, and she just started very slowly going down the roof.
Danny DeVito now pressing this thing all the way to bridge. You got to get that cart though, guys. Don't forget about that all-important payload.
Oh, they've got somebody on the cart.
Yeah, no, that's the whole team's kind of backing up now. They were just putting a little pressure down, perhaps building up some ult charge. Taco's moving up to the high ground here on this McCree. Could cause some problems, as Danny DeVito doesn't have a whole lot to counter the high ground. They're going to want to stay in a tight little death ball here.
Oh, look at the
teleporter's up. Yeah, the teleporter thrown up top to try to help deal with it. In fact, there goes over half the team. I think they saw the McCree jump back down. Looks like Lucio jump back down. Then here comes a big shatter. Raven finding 4 at the end of that hammer. Picks 1 up with a charge. They're going to follow up with 2 more kills. And Danny Defeato cleaning house here on point B.
Absolutely, but they left the cart again. You've got to take the cart, boys and girls. That's very important on this map.
I'm curious. I'm always curious to see how teams handle the end of point B here. This bridge is such an interesting spot, such a difficult spot to push across on the attackers.
But Jirachi, I'm sorry to interrupt. Jirachi on this Symmetra is using the teleporter with precision, exquisite placement of the teleporters right now.
Indeed, indeed. Coalescence Blizzard coming out on the side of the offense, and they're going to push this thing home with no resistance.
I mean, Deadeye did come out and take out Eva, but I mean, it's 5 on the cart. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder if Hunters weren't on the same page there, whether they were going to contest or not.
I don't think that they were.
Yeah, it didn't look like it to me. And now the aggression coming through, and a late kill onto Run Hide there. Coming out the back of a good charge, coming out of Raven. And Danny Defeato, man, they look uncontested so far here on Eichenwald.
I think that they have a chip on their shoulder from what happened to them last week, and they're coming out here proving the class of their team. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic stuff right now.
Ghoul is going to pick up that kill through the Amp Matrix. The rest of Danny Defeato able to fall back. Now they're going to counterpunch with the Graviton Surge, but Immortality Field there. 2 big plays coming out of Black on this Baptiste. Nevertheless, Danny Defeato still have the Earthshatter in their pocket. They're going to go ahead and throw that out. Tacos goes down, and no more May standing on the back end. But here comes the Graviton Surge from the defense, and Ghoul's going in, swinging for the fences.
Huge.
Picks up 5 kills. The Nano Boost had gone on to the Zarya, but it was Ghoul coming through with the goods.
Man, that was absolutely perfection in the grab. Ghoul just said, yep, I'm just going to swing my hammer. I'm not scared of you. And, yeah, taking out 5 there. So that's a huge play from them. But you still have 4 minutes and 20 seconds in the time bank for Danny Defeato here.
Jirachi Legends over to the McCree. Here comes the hammer from the defense. 4 men drop. And now they're going to freeze them up. Sparkle coming through with the follow-up kill. Blizzard will be coming online, but they don't even need it. It is Sparkle and Run Hide combining from several kills in the defense, planting its feet here on the back of Eichenwald.
Yep, absolutely. Now, Jirachi has swapped off of the Symmetra and gone over to the Cowboy, so he's already 2/3 of the way to a Deadeye.
Yes, sir.
For me, I think I may have gone with the Junkrat here for the spam damage. I know that they have a Zarya. I get that. But if you're playing with a Graviton Surge, I think that you need something to go into the middle of it.
Oh, Blizzard comes out, and that one could be huge. The back line just frozen stiff there. Sparkle's going to go ahead and take out the Moira, and the primary source of healing gone here for the attacking team. Jirachi able to pick up a kill there. Kind of a parting gift from Danny Defeato, but I think that's all they're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he was going to go back and taxi her team forward. But, I mean, Ultimate's coming up online for Danny Defeato. You've got a 3-pack on the side of Hunters Gaming, but now you've got almost 5 online for Danny Defeato. So this could be an extravaganza coming up here in the next 30 seconds.
We'll be keeping an eye on that Graviton Surge in particular. They were able to use that to great effect last time. They're going to open up with the back window, but here comes the May Blizzard from the attacking team in a perfect wall to deny the escape. Many of Hunters frozen stiff, but the follow-up not quite there. Now the Graviton Surge coming out from the defense. Kills going back and forth on both sides. No more DPS players standing here for the defensive team, but they still have both tanks. And you can see Run Hide is just glowing like a Christmas tree in there, coming up with 2 big picks. They lose their main tank, and reinforcements dwindling on both sides. But as the dust settles, the defense are going to emerge victorious here.
Man, so far that is 2 minutes off this 3 minutes off this gigantic time bank that Danny Defeato had coming in here. I think that Hunters Gaming either woke up or took an extra shot of espresso because they are awake and they are moving as a cohesive unit. They are using the anti-nade coming out of Frosted Rue to massive effect right now, anti-ing 3 and 4 members of Danny Defeato every time they aggress into the...
We did get Zarin coming off of Junkrat going over to the sim, trying to fortify a little bit. Graviton Surge coming out from the offense, but a good nade coming in. Kept him alive momentarily, but it was not enough. The Deadeye coming through. Jirachi Legends on the Cowboy, picking himself up a host of kills, and Danny Defeato finally able to crack open this last point. We'll see if we're going to get the recontest charge coming out from Ghoul, but he gets dropped before he can make it back to touch, and Danny Defeato will push it home with just a hair under $130 left on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Cryo Overlord switching off of the Mei after dropping that last Blizzard and going to the Genji, actually getting an exit kill after the pin from Raven, knocks the Mei of Hunters back towards the throne, and he comes through with a dash and absolutely slices her in half. And that's where we got the last little bit of progress there. So good swaps coming out from both teams. I really appreciate the willingness to swap and counter each other. This is a really good chess match. They ended up taking 4 minutes off the time bank that Danny Defeato came into point 3 with. So you got to call that a win for Hunters Gaming, because, I mean, it could have been a much bigger time differential based upon what they're going to do here. So, I mean, you got to consider that a win. You got to make that wind in your sails for them.
Well, more importantly, they were able to steal that momentum coming out from Danny Defeato, and that can be such a tough thing to do. But they were able to plant their feet there on the back of point C and put up a pretty good hold.
I mean, and the spawn there does favor the defense, as we all know, and it's so hard to get, that last couple of meters of progress. Let me tell you what, though, THE Black, the captain of this team, is absolutely shredding on this Baptiste. His immortality barriers that he is throwing out is absolutely the reason why his team is looking at a minute and a half in the time bank rather than, say 4 or 5 minutes.
They're going with the Ana Lucio here as Run Hide going over to the Doomfist here on the attacking side as Hunter's looking to try to equalize. Wall coming up, trying to divide off the defense, but Raven able to just kind of back away, up and out of it. And a little kiting coming through from Danny Defeato here, so they're just going to fall back to the objective. Nade used on the side of the offense. They don't have that utility anymore as they're looking to try to push in here. Immortality field used from the defense, and that's going to keep Airborne in this battle, and he's able to win that duel with a little help from his Junkrat friend. But Run Hide on this Doomfist has managed to find 2 kills in the process, and now he's not done. He's looking for more, and this guy's still hungry. He's got 3 already. Looking for the Baptiste, finds the Baptiste. And this Doomfist single-handedly carrying Hunters Gaming here through point A, coming up with a big 5K.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely huge coming from, I believe that was the Zarya player from the last map.
It was indeed. So with that, the Ryan Zarya combo, they're going to continue to push through. A couple ultimates coming online. In fact, quite a few ultimates coming online here for the attacking team. We do have Airborne making a swap over to the Roadhog. Cryo Overlord's going to go ahead and invest the tire and try to drop it down on the main tank, but the shield is there. No luck on that one. In fact, he's going to pay for it with his life. His Run High was able to go up under the high ground and pick him off. Maywall coming out down on the front line as the brawl has moved inside. Oh, Airborne in trouble. Frozen. Oh, that's a cold pork chop there, and he gets taken out. Running Hide coming up there with a big pick as well. Taco's finding a pair, and the offense just having their way here on Streets.
I mean, frozen pork chop. I've got to use that one. But I mean, right now, the aggression coming from Hunters Gaming right now is absolutely maniacal. This Doomfist player, Run Hide Cry, is absolutely making hell for Danny Defeato right now.
Oh, Raven comes out with a nice shatter, but gets frozen. You see him just trying to slowly move out of the blizzard, but he could not make it out, sitting off the side. And that just opened the door for Hunters Gaming to push in, clean up on the back of point B, and get that second point on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just brutal. Similar time bank coming in from Hunters Gaming here, as it is 5 minutes and 20 seconds as they start the point here. I think that a change of tactics from Danny Defeato here is absolutely necessary.
Well, the momentum coming out from the initial attacking team did not seem to phase Hunters. as they're going to try to match back with some momentum there. Oh, and a massive six-man shatter! The ante into the mix as well, and the tanks move in to clean up after that beautiful, beautiful hammer that put all 6 members of Danny Defeato on their back. Taco's coming through with the cleanup kills, and they still manage to have both support ults and this Graviton Surge, as they are just meters away from a lightning-fast time.
They've got to get in there and contest. They've got to get on the point.
Somebody's got to touch it. It looks like it's going to be Jirachi coming in to finally put the touchdown. He's going to find 1 kill, but meanwhile on the front line, Ghoul finding a pair. Deadeye thrown in the mix there from the defense, but he misses, does not find what he's looking for. And it is just cleaning house here for the Hunters Gaming as they do put that 3rd point on the board with a monstrous 4 minutes and 16 seconds left in the bank.
Wow. That is all I have to say there. That swap, going from Zarya to the Doomfist, was what the doctor ordered there. Yeah, that was incredible stuff from Hunters Gaming. So you've got almost a 3-minute differential in times here. So let's see what Dan Defeato can do against this. They're going to be on the attack. If I'm not mistaken, they do get the chance to attack first. And see how much progress they can get.
Yep, we will see Danny Defeato back on the offense with a minute 29 here. Just try to put some points on the board in extra innings. Looks like they're showing us a little Reinhardt, Zarya. Cryo showing us the Genji, but they do still have 25 seconds to change their mind. Over here.
I mean, the Genji is good.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm not saying. I'm just saying I don't want to get baited. You know, they do have the possibility to be baiting us with everybody's favorite Cyber Ninja.
Well, I mean, of course, but I mean, I've seen knowing Cryo from Memento Mori before they came over to Danny Defeato, I know that he has an absolute crack Genji. So, if they're looking for speed, and immense pressure, I think this is the way to go.
Sparkle on the Sombra here for the defense. Run hide sticking with the Doomfist. Sparkle was hiding right outside the spawn doors, able to scout that and get a little bit of progress done towards EMP. Doomfist pushing in, trying to make something happen, and found what he liked and was forced to use those cooldowns to get right back out. Jirachi Legends finds the kill on the goal, was whittled down to just 1 bar of health, and somehow comes through with the big pick. And Danny Defeato looking to move in on the back of that. No main tank standing here for the defense. And they're showing us a very scattered approach. Okay, now
that's a
big
huge
ante.
hit.
Yeah, coming through over the top. And Cryo Overlord cannot survive it. Tacos is going to find himself a kill as well. Run hide on the Doomfist coming back through already. Meteor Strike dropping down on the point. But Jirachi Legends picks up 2 kills of his own. And we're going to get a quick reset here on Danny Defeato. And if they strike quickly, they've got that 2-man lead.
Now, what I want you to notice is that THG Black nanoed Tacos, and Tacos now has a Graviton Surge ready.
And Graviton Surge coming out immediately. EMP over the top of it as well. That is a monstrous combo, and Danny Defeato just melts like an ice cube in the microwave. Oh no, 8 seconds. They had Lucio and Moira come touch, but you just got a couple of healers here. All right, Cryo Overlord managed to dash back in on the Genji. He only lasts but a split second. Overtime Wick is a burner, but this is going to be a full hold here from Hunters Gaming.
Absolutely. I mean, that's unluckers indeed. What a massive big brain 900 IQ play from THG Black on the Onatu. Nano her Zarya and get her that Graviton Surge, and the AMP had already been built up at that point. Big brain play. So 1 tick, win condition set for Hunters Gaming.
And speaking of 4, they got 4 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock to make it happen. In a prime position here to tie us up here in our Saturday night Overwatch.
Man, that is nutsos.
All right, Danny Defeato going back on the defense, showing us a little Reinhardt Sigma. Look at Jirachi going over to the Reaper once again. Cryo on the Junkrat. Oh. Nope. Looks like they're going to opt for the Mei instead. I like that. Oh, I was actually liking the Mei pick. I thought, perhaps some good barriers there. The choke might be the way to go, but it looks like the Cowboy is the final choice. Is that your final answer, Jirachi Legends? Does seem to be. Bring in the Baptiste this time around with the Moira to help keep the team alive. No big changes coming out of the offense. Zarn going over to that Symmetra. Black sticking with the Ana here. I think that's been a good lineup for them in the support role. All right, pathing around through this far right side. Still gonna go. Okay, gonna drop the teleporter down, go to the back of tower, and just make their way on its objective rotation. Coming through, and they're there to catch him. A Run-Eye comes with first blood, gets the punch on the Doomfist, but Cryo Overlord answers right back with a nice mine. Oh, but the front line of Hunters just absolutely running this game, running this map, and putting them back in it as they're gonna take Eichenwald.
Yeah, absolutely. As we go into intermission here, we are tied up 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. Big plays coming from the Hunters Gaming on the back of THG Black on the Ana with the massive anti-nades. I know that we're looking at Zarya here, but all the things that they did were really facilitated by the Ana player from the Hunters game. So we will be back with you guys in just a few moments.
Well, welcome back, my friends, to the Console Overwatch multi-tier tournament. My name is Bullskunk, alongside Chef Billy, bringing you some Tier 3 action tonight. We've got Hunters Gaming and Danny Defeato all tied up at the half. We'll be heading to Hanamura from Map 3, but before we get into that, I just wanted to give a thank you to LJ White, a.k.a. Angry Minion, out there, coming through with 2 gifted subs. Huge, 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 and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. But we're headed to beautiful Japan here from Map 3. Billy, who do you think is going to take the edge in this super tight matchup?
I mean, it's hit or miss once again. You know, and I want to clear up some confusion out there for everybody that's out there. We saw a tank go over to the DPS role. It's actually allowed because they were going from defense to the attack. So in the CGL rules, it is allowed as per our rules. So it's allowed in the game. So in case anybody was actually confused about seeing a tank player go over to DPS, it's actually allowed. It's just like changing a map, basically.
It's allowed between rounds. And that's
yeah, he didn't do it in the round. He was the tank the entire round. Then he swapped over to DPS.
Yeah, for their attacking.
For their attack.
Yeah. So just wanted to verify all that out there in case there was any questions.
Yep. So that's our job, is to make sure that the game is being played fair and on a balanced level, and that's what we did.
Yes,
so I want to go ahead and throw that out there. Going into Hanamura, I mean, the Doomfist was unstoppable.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of the Doom coming out from Hunters Gaming. I'd have to agree with that. But on Danny DeFito's side, they put up one heck of an attack. So if they stick to their guns and if they can control that front line, I think they may have the edge here as well. We'll see if they're able to deal with that Doomfist, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they'll be prepared for it this time. I think it caught them a little off guard.
Yeah.
So, you know, as we go into Hanamura, I mean, the thing is that THG Black, their captain, just came out as part of a sub. THG Raiden has come in his place. So will the Ana play A still be there? Does Raiden play Ana? And B, does he play to the same level that THG Black plays? So, because as you saw him getting a card, THG Black is putting in some serious work on the Ana. I have not seen Ana play this good in this tier, I don't think ever. And that's a fact. So he's dropping some massive nades. He's getting a ton of value on the Ana. So we got to see what do they come out here with as far as their defense.
Well, we did get a side swap, so we do have Danny DeFito in the blue jerseys now, starting us off on the defense here in Hanamura. They are going to bring the Ryan Sigma with Junkrat May putting the hurt down, and they are going to go back to the Baptiste here to accompany the Moira in the support department. On the side of the offense, Run and Hide is going to go ahead and stick in that DPS role. Taco's sticking with the Zarya, as we are going to get that Ryan Zarya front line with the Symmetra. So we'll see how they utilize it here on Hanamura. Pretty common strat we've seen quite a few times so far here in the multi-tier tournament.
I think the big eye test right now is how good are Jirachi's walls to deny the escape of a Rhine.
Oh, they're using the May wall to get the Symmetra in a little bit better position as they throw it on top of the roof of the house. They're just going to immediately drop onto point, but I'm afraid they came in a little out of sync there. Raven does get taken down, but they do find the kill on the side of the maze. 5v5 here on the objective. Looks like Defeato is just trying to keep pressure onto that Reinhardt, but the rest of Hunters Gaming able to put enough damage down to where they can't find that kill. Big charge comes through and Cryo Overlord goes down, and they're still not able to find the kill on this guy. Ghoul, how are you surviving so long? Frosted, apparently he is showing up on this Ana, as they make a quick work of point A, and they're pushed all the way back into point B.
Do you know who this reminds me of a little bit?
Who is that, Billy?
This reminds me of Danny Defeato Tier 3 from last CGL season. I know that you weren't here, but they would do stuff like this. They had just incredibly precise symmetry use during the last season, and they would absolutely just ransack people using the teleporter strat. I mean, they had teleporter strats for almost every single map, and that's what I'm seeing here right now.
They teleported up to the high ground, just dropped right onto the point, and Run Hide coming up with the first pick on point B, trying to follow it up to the Moira, but the Immortality field there, great play coming out of Savar. They're in the defense, or the support role for Danny Defeato. Coalescence coming out on the side of the defense as well, as they're looking to try to hold on here. We got a couple members trying to pursue the Doomfist. He's able to punch right on out of there, but Jirachi Legends, he's able to find 2 kills. Raven with a good charge does finally dismantle the Doom. And the defense of Danny Defeato here, standing tall, and that was a big alliteration. A lot of D's there in that last sentence.
Alliteration is our friend. No, but I mean, good defense, and I mean, they didn't use any ultimates in there really to do anything there. So I think that they got lots of value just using natural skill, natural ability, maybe a little bit of a luckiness from the immortality barrier, even though Raven did go down in the earlier charge. That was the only death that really came out of it. So you got to give the hand to Danny Defeato there.
Swaps coming through on both sides, most notably in the DPS roles. You can see the Sombra Genji coming through as Hunter's trying to push upstairs, but they do have the entirety of Danny Defeato waiting for him as a welcoming committee at the top of these stairs, and so far they're struggling to find an opening here. Okay, they're going to get the hack onto the Moira. Perhaps that's their cue to ghost and come through onto the Sombra. Here comes the Graviton Surge from the attacking team. Earthshatter in response, so great counter shatter coming out of Raven, and then the Graviton Surge coming out from the defense. Coalescence thrown in as well, and after a lot of Y mashing, Danny Defeato will hold on here, but they spent everything to do it.
Well, I mean, they also have both DPS ultimates really close and coming up. So I think that you go ahead and take that and kind of build up from here. I mean, they've already knocked a minute and a half off the time there. Big counter Grav coming from Airborne there, waiting out in the middle of the Grav and throwing his own out there, and his team was able to absolutely clean clocks there. So great patience from Airborne, great patience from Danny Defeato not to really, blow the whole bank.
Now, Hunter's coming back. They'll have the Nano Blade online directly, and they're just biding their time and until they get that combo going. Looks like a little pressure coming up from the Ryan Zarya, just trying to make sure Raven knows they're there. But they are just being very conservative with this attack. Okay, here we go. There's the Earthshatter. Are they going to throw the blade in with it? Oh, big charge coming through. No follow-up on the Shatter. Ghoul is forced to charge his own, and both Reinhardts go flying off the top. And here comes the Nano Blade. He's going to find one with it. He's looking for more, but the bubble is there. What a great bubble coming out of Airborne, keeping his Reaper alive. And now, Run Hide in big trouble. He's going to go down. Airborne finds 2 kills after he got juiced from those fantastic bubbles. And the defense holding strong, and they didn't spend anything on that one.
No, they did not. And let me tell you what, they could have popped the EMP in the middle of that blade. But the charge, I think that, oh gosh, bleh.
Raven had the initial charge to get that pick. And then Ghoul, knocked everybody off the top.
So I think that actually negated the ability for them to use the EMP, so maybe a little bit of over-aggression there.
Yeah, it scattered the defense. They weren't bunched up like they wanted them to be. All right, now it looks like the team of Hunters is going to go ahead and circle around to mid after coming up to the high ground. Run Hide coming up with an early pick, swapping over to that McCree, trying to utilize that perch. See if he can put some damage down. EMP does come out, and that's going to prompt a charge. There goes the Reaper. Cryo Overlord throwing his Deadeye down to sleep just a split second too late, and Frosted gets taken out. But meanwhile, on the front line, Raven in big trouble as both Reinhardt's doing their darndest to try to hold on here.
Oh my goodness, the healing.
Yes.
The healing coming through the amplification matrix. Oh my god, that was huge.
And Ghoul goes down, throwing his Earth Shatter, wasting that ultimate, and the defense. Man, after a lot of ultimates thrown in that one, the defense does emerge victorious. 63 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I think Airborne may have fat-fingered his grab there as well.
I did not see the grab come out. I was wondering what happened to that one.
Yeah, I think he may have fat-fingered it, or he may have been trying to catch the Sombra that has been lurking and actually doing a lot of work. You know, throwing that EMP out took the abilities of the Immortality Barrier out, so that it was huge.
Did he pull a Nene?
He pulled a Nene.
trying to grab a Sombra. If you've watched Owl, you've learned that is not a good plan.
He almost got her. You know, I was actually watching, and he almost got her. Like, I'm talking like maybe 3 or 4 meters. He actually had it right.
All right, Graviton Surge coming out on the side of the offense as Hunters is just going to move directly onto the objective here. Nothing fancy. Coalescence coming out from Danny Defeato, but there's a Sound Barrier from the other side. A lot of healing on the point. Who is going to emerge? Eva is going to get the kill onto the Reinhardt, and that's about as most important a pick as you could find, and that should open this thing up for the defense as the seconds are dwindling on this final attack. A Boostio on point, desperately trying to survive and buy as much time as they can, but I think 68% is all Hunters are going to get.
Yep, but they did get 2 ticks there in the middle of that grab, so big play coming from Tacos, grabbing the side of Danny Defeato on the upper level, not allowing them to aggress onto the point. But Eva, with that nasty Coalescence coming out and keeping her team topped off once they did, were able to get onto the point and contest, and then the pin. I mean, Eva taking out Reinhardt there with a Shatter in his pocket was probably the biggest play of that whole series of events. So here we go. Win conditions set for Danny Defeato here on Hanamura. You know, looking at what happened to them on Eichenwald, you know, they have to be aware. A, there's probably going to be a Doomfist. B, we haven't seen exactly what they've done yet as far as the Symmetra. I mean, we've seen the Symmetra come out, so you got to worry about that. But it looks like the Swede is going to come out for them.
Yes, indeed. Torbjorn coming back out for the defense here.
I will not discount the Swede like I did last night.
He is creeping his way into our hearts and into this meta. That's for sure.
But if Cryo Overlord takes care of the turret, a lot of that utility of the Swede will be gone. A lot of the free ult charge for the Swede will be gone, and you're not going to be facing that Molten Core as fast. So I think, you know, they're looking. I mean, if I think about what they're looking at, either they're going to do a grab Molten Core or a grab Tire,
and they're going to have to play conservatively with. This is just a very hunkered down kind of defense, and we're going to get the double spam coming out from Danny Defeato here as they're looking to take the 2-1 lead here in our matchup, and just coming out full bore aggression, wasting no time.
I love it.
Looks like they're going to path right. Nope. They're going to go ahead and just go right up Main Street. I like the rotations coming through, keeping Hunters off their game. And Cryo Overlord, he's able to find position up in the window and pick off the Ana. Zaren's going to strike right back, gets a kill with the mine, and takes the support out on the other side. Can Danny Defeato push in without that big chunk of speed? We'll see what they choose to do.
Another healer. Another healer goes down from
Yeah,
Cryo.
that's got to be your cue to move in, and move in they go. Cryo coming up with his 3rd kill. Make that 4th kill of this engagement. He does finally drop at the hands of the Junkrat, but your work has been done, sir. And this should be a point A picked up here for Danny.
Absolutely, and that was measured aggression coming from Danny Defeato. Cryo Overlord is showing that he is one of this tier's biggest threats in the sky with the Egyptian. Torbjorn was kind of a non-factor.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. With the double spam coming out was great read from Danny Defeato. Excellent composition choice, and it made life easy for him as they're taking this interesting path, speeding around through the bottom right-hand corner from the attacker's POV, and that's going to force Hunters to try to drop down. They had the Junkrat up in the sniper roost up above the objective. Jirachi there to chase him off. Here comes the tire on the side of the defense. Is it going to be... Oh, tires up from both sides, and Jirachi, I think he got the better end of that deal, but kills coming through on both sides. Danny Defeato down to 3 men, but it is just the Junkrat left on the point. A tick and a half already picked up, but do they have the staying power to survive through the respawn advantage?
I hope so.
We had the Ant Matrix coming out, and I think those respawns are going to get the better of them here. We are going to get a reset out of Danny.
Yep, but you see them having to swap over to the Winston, losing their grav.
Yes, indeed. They are going to go ahead and go back, but that ultimate has been completely wasted. Looks like Reinhide's going to stick on the Tracer here. No changes coming out of Danny as they look to push their second assault here into point B.
Barrage grab is going to be the biggest thing that they have to watch for. And without the immortality barrier, I mean, that's the big thing they have to really watch for, is that immortality barrier not being there.
Early Earthshatter coming out, and it is blocked. Zarya forced down to the low ground. Similar fate happening to Ryan, and that means Raven has free reign to drop his Shatter down. Here comes the barrage into the Graviton Surge.
Whoa, it's a 3K!
Grav didn't find much, but the barrage certainly did. And that will be 2 points on the board here for Danny.
Woo. Oh my goodness! Where the... Hiya! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the middle of an absolute slugfest barroom brawl on Saturday night. Come forth, young Cryo. That is the, what, the fourth big barrage of the night for the young man?
Yes, sir. And 3 maps.
In 3 maps. So come forth, Cryo. You are getting a star on your lapel tonight. We will be back with you guys in just a few moments.
Don't go anywhere. We'll see you on Rialto. Billy, I'm going to have to send it over to you here to talk about Rialto.
All right. So, I mean, a wild end to our last map in Hanamura. Coming up into our next map, which is in beautiful Italia.
Yes,
I love you, mi amore. So, we are going to be looking at Danny Defeato on the offense coming out of the gates. Big win for them on match point.
Yeah, it was a fantastic showing here in Hanamura. And they're hoping to keep it up, see if they can do a repeat here and take this thing home. Of course, Hunters Gaming, back in the blue jerseys, they don't want to let that happen. They want to send us to our tiebreaker. We'll see what they got here.
Yeah, we do have a swap coming in. Jirachi Legends is going out, and Islay Zombies is coming back in on the DPS role. Still the same team coming from the side of Hunters Gaming. We were talking about this last night. I actually have named the corner of death in Italian L'Angolo della Morte.
L'Angolo della Morte.
L'Angolo della Morte.
Look at that, you're teaching me Italian. I learn something new from you every day, Billy.
Che bene, mi amore, mi amici.
Ooh.
So, coming out...
yeah, look at this composition on the defense.
Oh my God, is it really what I'm seeing?
I can't believe my eyes either.
There's a widow, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see it. Quick aggress coming in on the side of Danny, though, as they waste no time crossing the bridge and just putting the hurt down. Runhide does find a shot and the kill on that Widowmaker, but they trade out for the for their Farah was the one who got picked off there. Forgive me. Runhide is going to drop as well. Isolate Zombies going in on the Reapers, trying to see what he can get. Forced to Wraith Form out, but Danny Defeato's already bought a ton of space here to start us off on Rialto.
Let me tell you what. Either Cryo was listening to our delay on the cast and is now proudly strutting around with his new lapel pin, or he's already in your backline, which he's already in your backline.
Well, he's got to watch out for that Widowmaker. Did get a nice shot, and Cryo was forced back. Now the members of Danny Defeato trying to surround him here. Nice! Double kill. Fire strike coming through. Isolate able to find the kill onto the Reinhardt as well. As Danny Defeato was able to just swarm and surround Hunters Gaming, find the picks, and find a point on the board here to start us off.
Yes, absolutely. And there will be no recontest. That is a lightning fast time coming into point B. Through the A gate of Rialto here, which is one of the biggest stalling points on the map. By the way, Cryo Overlord just takes down his opposite
Yeah, one in the dogfight
Simone
there.
made him switch.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Ooh. And we did get run high coming off that Widowmaker as well. Going over to the McCree here as Danny Defeato approaches said corner of death. Looks like the defense is holding the top of the stairwell for now. Airborne going to go in on the D.Va, kind of dislodge them a little bit. And I like the D.Va look coming out from Danny Defeato here as we heading into map 4. Cryo Overlord with that barrage in his pocket. Yeah, Shatter came out and found nothing but the shield of Raven. And then Cryo Overlord drops the barrage. Oh, but that Shatty coming through. They're going to go ahead and invest the bomb in that as well. Coalescence used from Danny Defeato in the end. They're coming up with a whole plethora of kills, and they should get that second point on the board. Full steam ahead here for Danny.
Oh, my dear friend Bull, your thesaurus is actually getting bigger as we cast all these games together. Plethora. I am loving the adjectives here. But let's get back to the point at hand. Cryo Overlord is absolutely uncontested in the air. He has absolutely made the air his own, and everybody on the ground is his pawn.
Yeah, so far, Running High not doing a good job of keeping him in check. He's going to use a Deadeye to see if that will have an impact. Looks like he had one. Okay, he's going to go ahead and take out Airborne with it. With the D-Mech there, trying to push forward with a little bit more aggression. Wall coming out on the side of the defense as well, as the front line is trying to have their way with Raven and Airborne, but they're just going to go ahead and back out a little bit. A little bit of a soft reset. Sparkle's going to move up top, deal with that turret. As Run High deals with both DPS on the side of Danny Defeato. Now taking a position up on the high ground. Okay, he's going to back right back out. Nevertheless, it was a great hold coming through from the defense, at least momentarily.
Yeah, big move from Eva to go up there and go ahead and contest him as well.
Yeah.
Because he was going to set up there and make that his little roost there to take out the DPS, and Eva goes up there and throws a little boop and little sonic bombs into him. Yeah. Airborne frozen here, but I think that he's going to be able to survive this. You are coming up on a 5-6 pack of ults almost.
We're going to get the D.Va Bomb Blizzard combo coming in, and Raven cannot escape the wrath, but he's the only victim of that big combo. We'll see if they choose to stay in this fight. Cryo Overlord is going to go down as well. Run Hide on the Cowboy. Landing shots true here with his 6-shooter and making the difference here on point C.
Yeah, I mean, that's good stuff coming from the Cowboy here for Hunters Gaming. But, once again, ultimate advantage, +1 to Danny Defeato right now, including, the bomb.
Well, they're going to use the bomb shatter to start things off. And Ghoul just gets thrown back and forth like a ragdoll. We had Barrage coming out as well, but Sparkle able to shut that down with a nice icicle. Now, the Ant Matrix and the backline nano boost onto the D.Va as the defense is trying to hold on here. Sans Reinhardt. Ghoul quickly trying to come back into this battle with that Earth Shatter in his pocket, but there's a Molten Core blocking his path. The Welcome Mat there ready and waiting. It does take out Run High, but Ghoul able to tiptoe his way around, find his way back to the front line. Now, Raven trying to come in with the flank. Airborne coming off the D.Va is going to go ahead and go over to the Zarya here as Danny Defeato is staying in this fight despite being a man down.
I like the aggression, though. Oh, this is going to be a big bomb.
Oh, the bomb shatter coming through. Raven just spinning around, didn't know which way to turn, and gets hit by both of those big ultimates, and that is going to send Danny Defeato scrambling back to spawn.
Now, we see both Run Hide and Cryo Overlord swap to the Doomfist. Cryo Overlord says, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go Cowboy now since you're off the hit scan character. So, chess match here in the final moments of the attack for Danny Defeato. This is what I like to see. I like to see people go, okay, you can do what I'm doing? Okay, I'm going to go do something different.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Anything you can do, I can do better than you.
Front line going shield to shield here. As the Blizzard comes out on the side of the defense. Yeah, but they've got to deal with this Blizzard. The Reinhardt cannot quite escape. Caught on the very edge of it, goes down. But they do counterpunch back. Take one out on the other side. Trade out, and here comes the Molten Core from I Slay Zombies. And he's going to find Ghoul with that. No more Reinhardt standing for either team. Another Ant Matrix coming out on the side of the defense as Slay Zombies is moving around off of the flank and see if he can dislodge them, devaluing that big ultimate. We're going to get the nano boost onto the D.Va. She's going to go diving into the back line. Meanwhile, Airborne just trying to push forward here, see what he can find. We did get Cryo Overlord trying to drop the Deadeye, but he gets taken out by the Ana. good play coming through from Frosted on our favorite Egyptian grandmother. Now the Graviton Surge coming out from Airborne. Is there anything to survive it? Ghoul's going to throw a counter shitter down, but there is the Coalescence burning through, microwaving the defense, and it looks like Danny Defeato will eventually push this thing home, barring a miracle coming back out from the other side.
I mean, you got time. I mean, the Ice Block is going to do a little bit of stalling here, but I don't know if it's enough. It's not enough. A minute exactly on the clock. Danny Defeato showing some real grit here on point 3 of Rialto. A minute left in the clock, and they absolutely pushed it over the edge there. The swaps coming out from the DPS. Cryo Overlord, go ahead and swapping, and also Airborne swapping off the Demon, going to the Zarya, providing the bubble, getting the fragability with the beam. My goodness.
It was a little risky, but you got to admire the guts on Danny Defeato, staying in that fight, keeping the pressure on. And they come through with the big picks at the end. Massive Coalescence coming out. They're Airborne's Graviton Surge. Yeah.
Late with only 3 members of Danny Defeato versus 6. I'm sorry, 5. And he grabbed 5 of them.
And he had just made that swap too. Made the swap, ran all the way in, was able to build that Graviton Surge up in record time. I don't know quite literally, but just extremely fast.
We're talking about huge stones coming from Airborne and his 2 compatriots there on the point. Huge stones.
Made of brass.
I'm going to call it adamantium, because there's no reason why he should have been alive that entire time. There's no reason. But he did.
Danny Defeato going on the defense here, bringing us the Orisa Sigma. Looking to put some people into the drink, holding this high ground here to start us off on the defense.
Raven using the Arista trick to throw her shield at the
One High just gets rocked right into the water. He's taking a swim there in the canal. And now the members of Hunters forced to try to push forward minus their Ash. We are going to get that swap. Run High going over to the Genji here. As they're going to try to push across. Danny Defeato, they're just staying put up on this high ground. Zarnsparkle's going around the back, see if he can put some damage down, and Run High dashes right through, picks up the kill onto the Moria before getting dispatched of himself. Now the DPS lineup of Danny Defeato answered right back, taking down their counterpart DPS. And there's a chance for Danny Defeato to hold here in Courtyard. The reinforcements on both sides are dwindling.
Yep, play slow. That's the big thing right now for Danny Defeato, is to play slow, play as a cohesive unit. Watch for the dashing Genji.
Main healer, main tank, back into battle here for the defense. We're going to get the tire from Cryo Overlord right over the top. That finds Ghoul. That finds Run Hide. And that is the large shield gone. Big Crusader sent back to spawn. And Raven pressing the charge and moving forward and finding the kills.
Yeah, Cryo just chased down Sparkle, who had swapped over to the Reaper earlier in the previous engagement, and chased him up the stairs and threw a mine into his butt and blew him out.
Now on the attacking side, they're coming up on quite a few ultimates. 2 supports and Earthshatter already online and ready to go. The other 3 not far behind.
Do you invest the Coalescence here just to kind of stabilize this corner, or do you hold it and wait for something better?
I think if you're Danny Defeato, you just try to get as many of these ultimates out as you can. Earthshatter Genji Blade coming out directly. The Nano onto the blade as well. He's got 2 already. In there swinging that katana for more, but he's just going to have to settle for those 2. Will it be enough? Bob coming out on the side of the defense, trying to equalize, puts them back at a 5-man here, but here comes the Diva Bomb from the other way. Raven prepared, shield in hand. No damage coming through on the back of that one. Looks like Ghoul is going to make his way back into the battle. Sparkle still with that Death Blossom online. $140 on the clock. They got some time to work with. Here comes the Shatter, and it makes it under the shield of Ghoul. Takes down 2, and here comes the follow-up. Airborne picking up 1. Svar picking up the other. Ant Matrix in response from the other side, but I think he's going to want that one back as he's now just running for his life.
Absolutely, and I mean, he still has Death Blossom in his pocket, though.
Yeah.
The Ant Matrix, though, yeah, kind of a head-scratcher because they were 4v6 there. So, I mean, you know, that can change a fight through it, and on the other side as well, you know, the healing is also amplified through it. But I think you want to wait for it.
Speaking of fight-changing ultimates, we do have Tire online. He's hiding in this little corner. Here comes the Tire, and there go the tanks. Back to the spawn goes the front line. And that's just going to make for easy cleanup here. We got to get a quick reset out of Hunters. They've only got one more shot at this thing.
Yeah, but you've got oh my goodness, he's dying with this Blossom in his pocket. Every time he comes out of spawn, they must know that he has it. And even though kill cams are off, you got to know that he's has it by now. And I mean, every time he comes out of spawn, he is being targeted hard.
Well, it's been 3.5 minutes, and we haven't seen an ultimate out of that Reaper yet, so it's a pretty safe bet from anybody involved. They're looking out for that Death Blossom. So far, they've managed to shut it down. We'll see if they can do it one last time. Last attack here for Hunters. Can they make something happen here on Rialto and keep the dream alive? They're gonna use the Nano Blade to initiate, but Cryo Overlord's the one lighting up the feed. Oh, and One Hide gets just taken down on his back. The Raven coming through with a big Earth Shatter, devaluing that ultimate, and the hopes and dreams of Hunters are gone. They are ground to dust, just like their 6 players, and this is a 3-1 victory for Danny Defeato.
Game, set, match, Danny Defeato. Full holding here on Rialto behind the play of not only the massive tanks, but the supports.
Yes.
The supports actually carried this match for them. We always squeal and ooh and ah over the DPS and tank ultimates, but let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the supports for Danny Defeato Tier 3, Eva, and Savar.
Savar that came in, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Come forth, you two. You also get bright gold shiny stars for the day. Bull Skunk, this was a thoroughly entertaining match. I mean, not much between the two teams. I have to be honest, because they were both punching each other in the face, but I think that the discipline from Dan Defeato and the support line from Dan Defeato, taking THG Black out of the game on the Ana,
yes, sir.
that for me right now is a head scratcher, because he was owning Dan Defeato. Not to take anything away from Raiden, because Raiden was also getting some massive anti-nades into him too, but it wasn't the same level that THG Black brought in to the game. So, I mean, DPS lineup, I think that Danny DeVito's DPS lineup matched very equally with what Hunters brought to the game.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. They were able to answer back. You know, we thought the Doomfist might give them some trouble early on. They were able to counter right back. Cryo Overlord, man, showing up, particularly on that far, doing some work. Which leads me to my next point. Who do you think gets player of the match?
Cryo Overlord gets MVP of the match.
Yeah,
hands down.
I would have to second that notion. I don't think there's much doubt there. I mean, I think we counted six massive barrages.
Six.
Yeah, 6 massive barrages coming through on the Pharah, and just good showing all night, good versatility. Loved the swaps coming through, able to play that chess game as you called it, and they played it well. Emergent victorious here today. Danny Defeato 3-1 over the Hunters Gaming.
I think that's right. Maybe that way. Yeah, 3-1. I'm not sure how with the camera how it goes, but you know, the unsung hero tonight though. I even though we give it the Cryo, because Cryo just absolutely popped off on the Pharah all night.
Hard to deny.
And established himself as that S tier. Since we all talk about all these rankings and stuff, that we see on Twitter and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and go out there. S tier, Pharah, Cryo Overlord. Top of the heap.
I think Eva's got to get an honorable mention though. She performed so well on the Lucio, just right there.
And the Moira.
Yeah.
And the Moira. She was able to play both the off and the main healer roles there, and the coalescence were so huge. The sound barriers when she was on the Lucio were huge.
Yeah.
I think the support,
that grab coalescence.
Yeah,
those supports kicked all night long. And the coalescence and the grab there at the back of Rialto, I don't think they would have had the follow-up there if it wasn't for that. Keeping the rest of the team in the fight, following up that fantastic Graviton Surge coming from Airborne on the Zarya, who also put in great work. Woo.
Indeed. I mean, and I have to throw it out at the honorable mention for me, the Ana play from THG Black for Hunters Gaming. I mean, I'm going to put that dude on a S tier as well, because it was insane the amount of anti-nades that were actually landed from that Ana player. So, you know, I mean, it was thoroughly entertaining, just as good as last night's game. And, you know, once again, Dan Defeato showing the tank line is the heart of the org.
Yes,
DPS players pop up, but you can't do shit without the tank line doing their job. And Airborne, you know, another honorable mention for me, you know, swapping Sigma, Diva, Zarya. We saw all three out of the young man. So big ups to you two, young man.
Yeah, great adaptation and way to bounce back. Started off a little sluggish. Daniel Defeato able to take it home based on fantastic, magnificent performance all around from that squad.
Great team performance from them, especially from the result that they had last week.
Way to bounce back.
Which was a very important match to them, and they ended up getting on the bad end of that. But coming back tonight, huge from them. So yeah, big love to you guys.
Daniel Defeato, Tier 3, moving to 2-1 after Week 3. The Hunters Gaming dropping to 1-2. Well, and I think that's going to do it for us tonight here, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us, and really appreciate all the support from everybody.